Hi friends, it's Jason, and today I wanted to do a quick video and talk to you about my Nikon Z6III. I've had this for 2 months now, and I wanted to talk to you about some things that I like and a few things that I dislike that I think could have been better improved by Nikon. But overall, I do very much like this camera. So let's first of all talk about what we're talking about showing right here is the ergonomics of this camera. I love this camera. It's a little bit bigger than the Z6III, so that's the first thing I wanted to talk about was the ergonomics. I loved the Z6 II, and I loved how it felt in the hand. This one is just ever so slightly bigger, and when I put the L bracket on the bottom, it just fits so nice in the hand. Everything is where I want it. The buttons are where I want them. Everything in the back is good. I love the top screen. Everything just seems to be where it's supposed to be. Now, I say that with a caveat because there are some things about the body that there's a couple of things in there in my dislikes that I don't like about the body, and they're small, they're minor, but they're still just little things that irritate me from going from the Z6 II to the Z6 III. So that's the first one I really like. I always liked Nikon's ergonomics. I've held some other cameras in my hands, and I don't like the way they feel, but with Nikon I really like the way they feel in my hand, and everything is reachable with that same one hand, which is great. Number two is the video capability of this camera. I mean, obviously there's a million videos out there right now about the video capabilities of this camera, and everything I've filmed since the beginning of July, all my videos, if you've watched them, they've all been filmed with this camera. Even the night video that I did recently was filmed with this camera in 4K 10-bit H.265. Like it did really well, and it looks really nice. So I'm very happy with the video capabilities that are coming out of this camera. Now, you can do 6K recording internally in this camera. There's all kinds of technical videos out there, so I'm not going to go into this too much, but the 6K internal is there. For what I do currently, I don't know that I'll ever need 6K. 4K is usually enough. Like, I'm filming with my Z6 II right now in 4K, and I can't imagine that I will ever need 6K. Currently, like I said, doing what I'm doing now, I don't know that I'll need it, but it's there and it's internal, which is amazing. Putting that in a $2,500 body USD is pretty amazing. So and the results that I've been getting out of this camera for video have been absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love all the results that I've gotten, and I'm very happy with it. Another thing I'm very happy with is the EVF, the improved EVF over the Z6 II and the original Z6. This thing is bright. It is so bright. Doesn't matter what time of day you're using this camera in. It's fantastic, and it's a very good representation of what is coming in through the lens you are seeing on the screen. The results that you get, the final results that you get, are a very good representation of what you're actually seeing, and the ability to see everything on this EVF is really good. I think it's something like 4 times what your brightest iPhone screen can do, or something like that. I don't know the exact technical details of it, but off the top of my head, but it's really bright and it's really good. Another improvement from the Z6 II to the Z6 III is obviously, and everyone's talked about it, the autofocus. With the Z9 and the Z8, their autofocus is absolutely fantastic. And with the partially stacked sensor, the new XP7 processor in here, the autofocus has ramped up that much more. Now, is it at the level of the Z8 or the Z9? No, probably not. But is it sufficient for this camera, and is it good? Absolutely it is. It's really good autofocus. If you compare this to the original Z6, the original mirrorless camera that came out from Nikon, this is leaps and bounds above that camera. It is so nice, and I haven't really had any instance where it's failed me. So far, the autofocus is a big win for the Z6III for me. So one other thing that, one more like that I'm very, very, very happy with that they did was the fact that we can finally do this. Now, normally I would be filming with this camera and I would be able to see myself on this screen, which is fantastic. I absolutely am so happy that Nikon finally put a flip screen on one of their major camera releases. It's just something that I've been waiting for. It works in my workflow so much better than just something that flips up. And you know, on the Z6II, if I was doing something vertical low to the ground, I couldn't see the screen. I still had to do this. The flip up didn't do anything for me, but with the flip out and flip up, I can certainly get this low to the ground, and it definitely benefits me if I'm going to do something in that regard. Like I can even shoot around a corner if I wanted to. If this was a corner that I was shooting around, I could see what I was doing. Like, there's so many things that I can do with this flip out screen. The ability to compose myself when I'm in front of the camera and see that I'm in the right place for filming so that I don't have to redo things. I absolutely love the flip out display. For some, it's controversial. Some people do not like it. I don't understand that personally. Another thing I really like about the display is really a high quality display. You can see it pretty much in any scenario. Outside, bright sunny day, you have no problem viewing what's on your screen. One of the things that they did that took me a little bit to get used to, but I absolutely love it now, is when you flip the camera this way, the readouts on the screen, all your information on the screen flips vertically. So it's not a horizontal readout, like you're not looking at this to see all your information on your vertical screen. This actually flips and all the information is vertical. That is fantastic. Bravo Nikon for doing that. I don't know if any other Nikon camera does that. I know my Z6II didn't do that. 100% didn't do that. So those are some of the things that I really like. Now, one thing I was talking about, the ergonomics of the camera. Some of the things that bug me about the camera is, for one, the change in the button placements. Like, for example, they moved the play button from the top left down to the bottom right. My muscle memory still hasn't gotten used to this. I am constantly pressing this button to get it to play back, and that's not the playback button anymore. That is a bit irritating, but I can live with it. It's just something that I didn't really like. Please, Nikon, if you go to a Z6 IV, keep stuff in the same place. Another thing with the buttons is the exposure compensation button. It's kind of in the same place, but it's not. It's moved up from down here to a little higher and closer to the ISO button, and I'm constantly, when I'm not looking, my muscle memory is causing me to press the exposure compensation button when I'm looking for the ISO button. It was down farther below before, and the first button I touched when I brought my finger up was always the ISO button. So that is taking a little bit of an adjustment for me, and I haven't fully adjusted to it yet. I'm almost there. My brain is thinking, okay, not first button, second button, either way, record button on the other, coming from the other direction, left to right, and then ISO is in the middle. So I'm looking for not the first button anymore, but the middle button now. It's just a little thing that I've got to switch in my brain. The downfall of that is if I have to use my Z6 II for anything, if this is recording something or I'm recording with that muscle memory change is a little strange. Another thing that I dislike is when it comes to the buttons is, and it's the fact that I love that the button on top lights everything, lights the screen up. So that you can see it in dark situations or, you know, overcast days if you need a little bit more brightness. What I don't like about it is the fact that it doesn't light up all the buttons. I wish I could press this light up button and it lit up all the buttons on the back of the camera. That way, if I wanted to find something in particular on the back of the camera, I could hit that button and all of these would light up. Oh, there it is. And, you know, it not just having to rely on feeling around and muscle memory with my, it's just it's a little thing. It's not really a big deal. Another one that was really weird for me was, there is a sound now versus from the Z6 II to the Z6 III, and when you say, for example, when you press the play button, or you turn it on, there's this kind of clunk sound that the Z6 II didn't have. It's really loud. It's not really that big of a deal, but it was off-putting when I first got the camera, but I still notice it. Like when I press the play button, and I'll demonstrate it here in a second. It was just a weird sound, and it has something to do with the internal mechanisms of the camera, and something to do with the shutter, and it was just a weird thing for me, and I don't really like it, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just, it was a weird transition from one to the other when the newer camera made more noise than the older camera. So another thing that I don't like is the fact that I said that I love the video capabilities of this camera, and I 100% do. The thing I don't like is only being able to record video to the CF Express Type B card, not being able to record to the SD card simultaneously. I can record to the SD card if there's no CF Express card in here. That's no problem. I can't record to both cards simultaneously. I don't understand that. There may be a technical reason for that. I don't get it. Having the ability to record pictures to both cards simultaneously but not video is strange. I hope that Nikon, if you're listening, in a future firmware update, you can make it so that we can record video simultaneously to both cards, because for somebody that shoots in certain situations, like say a wedding, for example, having that redundancy is just magical, and just that added security in my brain is very, very worthwhile. So I don't know why they did it that way, and I hope that in the future, not holding my breath, that they make it so that we can record to both cards simultaneously. That's probably my biggest gripe about the camera, is not being able to record to both cards with video. One final thing with this is, as you can see, I mentioned before, I'm going to take these off. The strap clips on here are really noisy, like they're really loud. I don't know why they're so loud. I don't know why Nikon still uses these things. There are other manufacturers that have built strap loops right into the body. I do not like these things, and they're really loud. So I did that because my microphone's up there, but they're really loud, and there is a bit of a design flaw with this camera. I don't know, because this didn't happen with the Z6 II. If you open the card door, it doesn't open all the way, because this gets in the way. On the Z6 II, that didn't happen. You have to flip that up so it opens all the way. Otherwise, now I'm assuming they probably thought, you know, if you got a strap on here, it's not going to be in the way. But, you know, it's not always going to be like that. If you leave it this way, you can't get the CF Express card out properly unless you have the battery door all the way open. Now, like I said, I'm taking these off either when I get an L bracket or a cage, because they'll be in the way, and I don't need them there. That's one thing that I've been frustrated a little bit with. With it being such a new camera, there's not really an L bracket out there for it, and after having added an L bracket to my Z6 II, not having one is driving me crazy, because, you know, putting it on a tripod like this versus, you know, rolling the ball head of your tripod, I very much like doing this with the camera physically. There are some cages out there that would allow me to do it, but they're quite expensive. So I'm kind of hoping that, you know, Small Rig, which the one I have, comes out with an L bracket soon, or maybe Three-Legged Thing, or Really Right Stuff, or somebody comes out with an L bracket, Ulanzi, who knows, just that I can put on the Z6 III and get rid of these, and that will eliminate some of this noise. And the battery door issue, that I don't know who designed that, but that's bizarre, because like I said, it did not happen on the Z6 II. But those are some of the things that I like and dislike about the camera. Honestly, what do you think about the camera? Tell me down below. Have you used the Z6 III? Are you thinking about getting the Z6 III? You know, if you're a fan of the flip screen or not, and why. Personally, I think this is fantastic. And overall, this camera I am so pleased with. I am so happy with. And I think it's a fantastic hybrid camera. One of the things I didn't mention with the body is the very easy to flip from photo to video with one flick of a switch. You move your thumb, boom, you're from video to photo and back and forth, and your settings are saved in the camera. You switch to video and you're filming, and then you take a picture. It's very, very simple. So tell me what you think of the Z6 III. Have you used it? Do you have one? Are you excited about getting one? Leave me a comment down below, and while you're down there, you know, maybe hit like, hit subscribe if you like this video and want to see more. And if you want to see some of the videos that I've taken with this camera, check out the video that's on your screen now, and I will see you again next time.